Today is a day of progress. I'm excited to share with you guys our task for the day. Let's roll. Since last time, we've made some upgrades to some of our equipment. The tires were getting pretty dang bald on the S10, so I put on some American Expedition all-terrains. Plus, I also ended up getting like 4 different hitches for this thing. Now it's got a pin hitch, a pintle hitch, a Reese tri-ball, and then a regular drop hitch. And then as for the sprayer, I was looking at this thing the other day and I figured out why it was dumping so quick. There was a leak coming from the main line going down the booms. It was basically draining straight out of the tank onto the ground. I fixed that seal, ran a test to see whether or not the pump that was in it was still working properly, and yes, we now officially can spray with like 55 to 80% less material. So I am excited for that. As you guys see in the top right, we have 3 contracts. One being spraying and the other 2 are fertilizer. We're going to take care of those 2 fertilizing ones first. And lastly, we'll take the 620 up with the cultivator and rip up that parsnip patch. My tender trailer has enough to fill this tank once. He's going to need to go to the co-op anyway for the herbicide, so I'm just going to take him with me. Maybe I should have Daryl follow me. That might speed things up. There we go. Now we're using our efficiency. Our first fertilizing job is going to be one of these strip farms. That is field 23. We'll see what this thing wants. I believe we can get the whole field in maybe 1 or... No, it'd be 2 passes. Wait. Maybe I can get it in 1 pass. There's no way. Oh, dang it. Yeah, look at how much slower our spray rate is. That is so much better. I was trying to think, because this is a 300-gallon tank. There is absolutely no way that 300 gallons would empty within probably, what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes? Some of those bigger sprayer pumps are probably only like, what, 5 gallons a minute? So I had to really dig into the code to figure out how to fix that one, because I've never messed with sprayers before. If you guys love the old school survival series and want to continue helping support get it in the algorithm, you gotta head down below, smash that like button, consider subscribing. This poor tractor's been the main workhorse of our fleet, but I do have some good news. I worked on the 620 the other day, and I came across some performance issues. The spark plug gaps were a little off, our wires were getting pretty corroded, and the carburetor really wasn't as clean as it could have been. But after a bit of tuning, I got that tractor about as dialed in as it could be, and it seems to be running up quite a bit stronger. I have been checking the used market, and there is one tractor in particular I got real caught on, and it's the 4440. 143 horsepower. I know it's a power shift, but it does not have any weights or duals. If we'd be able to buy the tractor, that'd be great, but we don't have a combine. So I can't be buying more tractors when I don't have anything to harvest the crops with. Maybe at some point we could pick one of those up, but for the meantime, everything else in the market just doesn't really look as appealing. I know you AGCO fans are really asking for an Alice to be on the farm. If we can find something that is on our price range, we can definitely see if that can be added. Another tractor I'd like to see on the farm is the Oliver 55 series, the 17 and 1955 respectively. Not 100% sure what those things will cost, but that finishes out contract number 1, and wow, we really do not use a lot of material. It's amazing what you can do when you're not dumping 3/4 of your product on the ground. The other one I think is 34? No, that's spraying. Where's our other one? 58. That's right by the co-op. Man, that's perfect. All right, Daryl, come on. Let's go. If you're curious as to why the Ford is not pulling the tender trailer, that is because unlike the fixes we've made to the rest of the fleet, the Ford's master cylinder gave out. So until we get a new master cylinder in the engine bay, that truck is currently down for the count. I trust the S10, and then it's not like we're going super fast. This custom spraying company really has been a financial benefit to the farm. Unlike our hay operation, I ended up having to can it on the Baler we bought. I tried looking at that thing for hours and hours and hours, and I just could not seem to figure out its issue. So I ended up selling it off, and according to you guys last episode, the finance mod, you still are paying for whatever you bought, which we financed the New Holland, should have just leased it. But I'm back on the market for another Baler. The problem with Balers is that if they're in half-decent condition and they're relatively newer, they can get expensive quick. We're talking $15,000, $20,000. Our next tractor purchase, without a doubt, will have to have a cab. I really do not like doing the chemical applications with an open station. With that topped off, let's go grab ourselves some herbicide. We'll not grab a lot because I fixed the sprayer, but at least enough to finish out that last job. I would think we could get it done with a little under 500. It seriously is a lot more entertaining to be able to spray more than 50 feet. I didn't realize how bad that really was. I want you guys to head to the comments and give me some input. Should we prioritize more on upgrading our fleet or expanding the land of the farm? I think it's more important to try and get the essential pieces that we need and then get the land, but we can make a lot more money the more ground we have. You guys know what you do. Put your opinions down below. I think for the meantime, we'll tune you guys into Farm Sim's greatest radio station, 3800 The Buck. If you want to check my playlist out or anything else referring to the channel, be sure to check out my website, BUCH'DProductions.com. Let's get spraying.
8 years old, gone fishing with a handful of worms on a riverbank with her daddy, cheeks all smudged in dirt. She's so proud, catching fish, missing both front teeth. Her daddy blind and happy to the trouble she'll be. All the trouble she'll be. A complicated wonder must have took more time to figure her out, to get perfect just right. 7 days he took, then he said it is good, but there's just something missing in my world. So on the 8th day, God made country girls, country girls. Country girls.
I was checking my mini-map to see how on earth am I supposed to get back here. Turns out you gotta go through town. Well, if we swing by my house, I got myself a little bit of floral decoration now. I smoked my neighbor. Take that, Keith.
Got him!
I think we're gonna go right by the 2 plots of land that I own. That's awesome. I don't know what this one to my... I think this is the sorghum to my right. I'm pretty certain of that. And then those are the parsnips on the left. Yes, this is the sorghum. It needs herbicide. It's got an expected yield of 200 and a really good moisture retention. That is amazingly reassuring. As for this side, that definitely, yeah, that'll need some work. But we'll throw some herbicide as well as some fertilizer down on that. It's not a terribly huge field, but it probably is going to take a couple passes. Unlike the last sunflower field, it looks like these ones are actually visible. I could not see a single weed in that other one, but these are some big boys. Look at how tall they are. I don't want to bore you guys too much with spraying work. I know our 2-cylinder fans really want to see Johnny Putt-Putt in action, so I'll take care of the spraying job, and we'll see you guys back at the farm so we can start work on the tillage. With all of the contracts now completed, that puts us at about $21,000. I had one thing that I felt was more important to note before we got to the tillage. Crop destruction is gonna suck for that sorghum plot. The thing that stinks about precision farming is that it puts those tram lines in the crops of the field you do not own by default, and whatever you need to use your sprayer for, it then kills the plants. So not only do we have the tram lines from the base field, we have mine and the dead patches. I will be amazed if I can even pull a wagon out of that patch. This thing just seems so much more responsive than it used to be, and I'm excited to see how well it performs with actual tillage work. I'll have to check the crop calendar, but I think we're just gonna set that plot to corn on our next planting season. If I was really cheeky enough, I'd try to get some really late replant corn in that, but I just don't see that being a possibility. Let's see how it pulls the cultivator up the hill. It used to bog when it had nothing behind it, but it's staying pretty strong. I think we really got this thing fine-tuned. Like I mentioned in the last homeowners video, some of you guys keep asking what is the map that we are on. This is Ashton Corners, an MRG map. This one is public for you guys to all go and download. It is not console friendly, but there is your answer. Ashton Corners. Okay, probably gonna want this in 3rd gear. Let's see what she's got. Not bad. Actually seems pretty strong. Optimally, I'd like to pull this at about 5 or 6, but I think we're maxing it out at 4. But hey, Johnny has a purpose finally. The back tires are having some traction problems, though. There's no weight on it, so you can see them slipping. I don't think I can get any weights for this. I could just get them for the front. It's doing the job well enough. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Let's sift through Tractor House. I kind of want to see if anybody has a baler that we might be able to replace our old IH one with. I know it seems like a waste of money to keep putting money into something that's not going to bring a good return, but if I can just get the stuff that actually works, I'm pretty certain we can make that money back over a relatively short period of time. Because what else are we going to do once we're waiting on crops to grow or parts to come in? Hay work. Unless it's winter. Then we might be screwed. Another major investment we're going to have to look into, though, is a fuel tank. I have yet to buy one. I don't even know what options I'd have. I also realized for the 16th time, Buck, why are you doing the headlands first? Tillage is not headlands first. What part about that do you not understand? I have told myself countless times, you do the tillage part in the middle, and then you work yourself to the outside. I'm still used to my old ways. This tractor's really not that heavy, so I don't think it'd make a huge difference. You two-cylinder guys probably know this. What would be the work gear, the field gear for this thing? Is it 2 or 3? The tractor seems to pull fine in either gear, but I would think it's 3rd gear. And besides our failed attempt at hay work, this is probably the first time this tractor's done actual legitimate field work in at least a few decades. I think it was maybe a parade tractor at some point, which is why we maybe found it in such good condition. But with the thing being pulled at about 4 miles an hour, it makes me wonder what would be like the max tool width you could technically pull with this. There's no way this thing couldn't at least just pull a little cultivator. Granted, maybe not at full depth. That farm looks really majestic from this angle. Wow. I bet you the town's not too mad with me, because I can't go too fast. I can't really kick up that much dust. If for some odd reason you're a new viewer to the channel and you're still kind of wondering why on earth I'm tearing this ground up, the parsnip patch, I have nothing I can do with it. I don't have any of the harvesters, I don't have any of the equipment, and I'm not about to rent or lease any of that. So the easiest thing to do, till it right under back into the soil. Which, depending on our finances, this could be the first plot we buy our information from with the agronomy so we can get to work on what we need to do to fix it. NH3, pH, clay pack, the whole sheboygan. Got just a few passes left. I think we really are going to try and dive into Tractor House and see if we can find ourselves a baler. The 348 John Deere, I'm pretty certain that thing does not require a whole lot of horsepower. This tractor, I think, has about 48-ish PTO horsepower, and I think one of those only require mid-30s, like 35, 36. But let's finish out this little patch, and then we'll jump onto the interwebs and see what we can find. I've heard it helps when the implement is lowered. Might get it done a little faster. Here we go. 348s. And as I suspected, pretty much all brand new. Nice. How is a baler $47,000? Clearly ain't buying that. I think the more pages we go, the older they get. Or at least the cheaper. See, we're getting down to 16. There's 11. Anything else? Okay, well, there's 89. Only 3 pages. 63. 58. And that's 51. Oh, let's see. What does 51 look like? Oh, shoot. That one's in Australia. Never mind. Okay, what else do we got? That one's in Pennsylvania. And that one's in Canada. That one doesn't look bad. What do they got? Pickup teeth replaced. Lightly. Okay. Very good. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just looks like it got grown into the weeds. I'll give him a call and we'll see what we can do about it. Ouch. If I really wanted to make that drive, that would suck. So for the sake of me not having to drive halfway across the continent, I'm gonna say this thing is like an hour and 15 minutes away. We'll see you guys here in just a bit.
A few moments later.
This should be the place. I think he said it's parked out back by one of the sheds. That's real specific, because there's like 60 of these things. No. Great, now we're playing peekaboo with a baler. How many sheds does this guy have? Okay, that's a huge bunker. That's a big barn. Oh, I think that's it. Yep, that would be the baler. Well, it certainly has seen better days. But, yeah, those pickup teeth look pretty dang new. Probably is going to need a serious greasing. But it doesn't look too bad. See if I can maybe talk him down a couple $100. I think we might be able to get it for 5,500, possibly. I can work my magic. Okay, so I wasn't as good as the other baler, but 5,600's pretty dang close. I think I have the right hitch on. No, I do not. Need to make like a hammer strap for it, but now we got the right hitch. Oh, that is so nice to be able to just hook up to something. We got quite a bit of a drive back to the house. We're gonna have to break out the Andy Clean with the garden hose. It's got bale twine in it already and a little bit of alfalfa. Thank you, sir. Have yourself a good one. We gotta get back to the farm. I would take back roads in order to get back to my place, but there really is no good junction than this last segment of highway. I can see the barn right over the hillside, but there really is no other way to get to it besides this. I think the only thing really left to do now is prep the sprayer to head out to that other job. We'll get things settled back in at the farm and try and finish things out. I think that's really all the time we're going to have for you guys today on the Old School Farm. Really do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in for today's episode. If you want to check out the rest of the Old School Survival playlist, be sure to look at that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. I don't know when we're going to be able to get a fuel tank, but I know we're going to at least need to do a couple more contracts before we can justify that purchase and the investment of fuel. So keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We'll see you guys all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.